conflict theories. Let's change track slightly and now look at theories that talk about conflict. When conflict happens, what goes on? In society, the social order is the survival of the fittest. The stronger, the better. Try to make the not so strong, the weaker individuals do what they want done, even through not so good means. So, if that is what happens in society, that I'm stronger, so you do as I say, I'm in power, I have the authority, so I can control you. Whenever that kind of situation exists in a society, conflict will happen. People are not happy. They don't want to do things because one individual is simply telling them to do it because he or she has the power, the authority, the control in their hands. Is it fair? Should that happen? Are things that young people need to learn. No, it's not fair. No, it should not happen. So, what are we going to do about it? You could keep quiet. You could talk about it. You could raise your voice. You could bring it to the media today. There are lots of options available to students and individuals in society for that matter. Now, everything that happens even in schools is not smooth, okay? In a classroom of 30, 40 individuals, everybody is not going to get along with everybody else. So conflict will happen. What does the teacher do to avoid conflicts arising in the classroom? And that leads to another aspect of education, which is classroom management. Obviously, the teacher has to teach, but the teacher also has to manage, and he or she has to do both these things, teaching and managing simultaneously at the same time. Not an easy thing to do. Society is held together. The different individuals in society are held together by economics, political will, culture, and military power. Those hold people together. If you are from the same political group, you tend to stay together. If you're from the same cultural group or the same socioeconomic status, that's what you indulge in. That's what the kind of people you mix with. So society is held together by these four elements. Ideologies legitimate inequality and unequal distribution of goods. Every individual in society doesn't get the same share of the good or the bad. There are people who get more of the good, there are people who get more of the bad. You may want it, you may not want it, but you get it through no fault of your own. So, what does ideology then do? Why is ideology responsible for that? Because what we tend then to believe is God did that. And then we put it on God instead of looking at ourselves. What can I do to feed the hungry in my neighborhood? What can I do to clothe the people that don't have clothes in my neighborhood? We just say, oh, that's God's will. Really, that is not God's will. God's will is to help the less fortunate, to help the ones that are hungry, to help the ones that don't have clothes, and those kinds of things. So if we promote those kinds of things, things in society will become better. But young people need to learn what it is. And they need to learn that you cannot live your life simply looking at you, me. It's the I, me, myself syndrome. There is more to life than I, me, and myself. There are others also, and it's important to look at the others over here. Functionalists emphasize cohesion. Functionalists believe laws, rules, regulations bring people together. There is a cohesion. Conflict theories emphasize there is struggle. Because things are not the same in society, struggle will be there. And yes, struggle and hard work and sacrifice are not bad things, but they are there. So, two of opposite views of how society functions in a cohesive manner and in a manner with conflict. And Karl Marx is the intellectual founder of the conflict theories of society or sociological foundations. Let us now look at and see, think for a minute, what is good, cohesion or conflict? I think it is a little bit of both. If we only had cohesion, everything was good, life would be boring. Conflict is needed. It is there. It helps people understand one another. So a little bit of conflict, a little bit of cohesion, some sort of a balance between the two is what I think would make a good society.